When you say what your job is now, we're sort of not used to see you standing in the corner for extended periods like that. Is that a change in the team approach that has cast you that way? And for you to be your best version of yourself, can that be your role and you thrive to the best of your ability?
It can be my role here, but I mean that's not what I'm used to being. I haven't been that since I don't know my first, second, third year in the league, where I just went out there and played defense. But I competed, I guarded, I try not to let my man score, but that's what I'm doing now.
Well, Coach was in here saying
Jimmy, when do you feel like your role in the offense changed, and what has been the toughest adjustment to that change?
It's not a tough adjustment to me. I'm going out there to compete to win either way. Whether I score 9 points or 29 points, I will compete. That's one thing that I will say. So you won't say that I'm out there not playing hard. It may look like that because my usage is down and I don't shoot the ball a lot, but we won't sit here and say that I don't play hard.
What will fix it? What do you want to see happen to fix it?
What do I want to see happen? I want to see me get my joy back from playing basketball. And wherever that may be, we'll find out here pretty soon. But I want to joy back. I'm happy here, off the court. But I want to be back to somewhat dominant. I want to hoop, and I want to help this team win. Right now, I'm not doing that.
Can you get your joy back here on the court?
Probably not.
And this, in my opinion, personally, is what's wrong with the NBA. Is that you have a bunch of spoiled babies that are overpaid and pandered to by the fans, by these organizations, and by the sponsors that basically has ruined it because they don't give their full effort and they're having whole panic attacks and pouting. If you've seen Jimmy Butler play over these last, just say 2 games, he's been absolutely horrific. He doesn't put in the effort like he's saying right here on the podium. He's shooting on one leg. He doesn't take as many shots. It looks like he's out there just going through the woes and just going through the whims. Meanwhile, he's still collecting a salary to the tune of about $48 million. Now, if I'm not mistaken, and I can't just say this right off the top of my head, so correct me if I'm wrong, but Jimmy Butler makes about $48 million a year. Not contract-wise. His career earnings is over $300 million, and he's seeking a contract extension, and he has a player option, not an organization option, but a player option for renewing for $52 million next year, which the reports are saying that he's basically possibly going to opt out of that contract. $48 million this year, still getting his money. $52 million next year, and pouting. Listen, man, I don't care what the organization is saying that I got to do or whatever, or I know what some people say, well, Pat Riley didn't get him another star. Man, I don't care what you get. You making $48 million a year and you pouting? Man, you better give your effort every single day, but this is what we've come to, a 35-year-old, well-paid, over $300 million making since his career earnings, $52 million player option, which he's saying that he's going to turn down. He won a contract extension, and he's pouting because this goes all the way back to last year where he was sitting out of a playoff game or a playoff series, and he said that they would have won if he would have played, and Pat Riley said, hey, I think that if you're not on the court, then you should shut the hell up. And he's been pouting ever since, in addition to going through the motions this particular season, and now he's shooting off of one leg. I just can't stand it, man. It's a lot. It's an absolute lot. But there is some new news that's recently broke out. Check it out.
Breaking news, the Jimmy Butler saga took another turn on Friday night. The Miami Heat have suspended him for 7 games. This comes on the heels of comments Butler made Thursday night and reports he wished to be traded. Now, here's the full statement released from the team. Quote, we have suspended Jimmy Butler for 7 games for multiple instances of conduct detrimental to the team over the course of the season, and particularly the last several weeks. Through his actions and statements, he has shown he no longer wants to be a part of this team. Jimmy Butler and his representative have indicated that they wish to be traded. Therefore, we will listen to offers.
Ask and you shall receive. One thing that Shaq said about Pat Riley is that Pat Riley don't go based off of what you think. He go based off of what he think is best for the organization and Heat culture. And Heat culture is notorious for not dealing with the nonsense. We may have been cool 2 or 3 years ago. You may have been good. We may have had some playoff runs all the way to the NBA Finals. You may feel some type of way about it, but you're not going to sabotage the team openly. Then it ain't no telling what he got going on behind the scenes.
Time now to bring in CBS Sports NBA insider Bill Ryder. And Bill, at one point during Jimmy Butler's Heat tenure, you thought he was going to be a lifer because he embodied the Heat culture so much. He took them to the finals, in ways that we did not expect. And now they are suspending this man for 7 games, and it looks like he's played his final game as a member of the Miami Heat. How did we get here?
You're right. It got ugly very quickly, Chris. I think it's like some of those relationships that people we know. When you talk about Pat Riley and you talk about Jimmy Butler, people in the organization will tell you, and they pointed this out to me even in the last week, these guys are very similar. They are remarkably driven. They consider themselves more focused on excellence than their peers. They have reputations for being intense, and some people would say difficult. And they're both headstrong, stubborn, and perhaps egotistical. And so I think you have a situation going all the way back to last May in the end of season press conference Pat Riley always does, where he took a shot at Jimmy Butler. If you remember, Chris, Butler had said that if he had been healthy for that series the Heat played in the opening round of the playoffs against the Celtics, the Heat would have won that thing. And then Riley came out and said, in effect, Jimmy Butler, be quiet. He said Jimmy Butler needs to, quote, shut his mouth, end quote. That led to a stalemate in extension talks this past summer. And I think just 2 stubborn guys who have, let's be fair, gotten crossways with people they've relied on for success over the years, went from being allies to button heads, and it got ugly very, very quickly.
Right.
Meanwhile, now he's losing probably somewhere around $580,000 to $600,000 per game for 7 games, and we don't know if that's going to be able to stand up or if he's going to sue or something like that. We have no clue. But the fact of the matter is, in my opinion, it's become unwatchable. I do like actually going to the games because I'm just a diehard NBA fan since I was a little kid, and that was the dream. But even now, I chose not to renew my season tickets. I spot pick whichever games I want to go to, but I'm not willing to pay for 41 games and spend an egregious amount of money in addition to the product that they're putting out on the floor. And here's the biggest caveat, because I think that people are also missing this part for those that may disagree. When you are a person that pays for your family to be able to go to these very, very, very expensive games that's no longer attainable for most people, and you got to save up, and you're taking a family of 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 to the game, and you see a person like that giving out minimal effort while they got record contracts, in my opinion, is disrespectful. And that's why people are choosing to tune out. Ratings are down 48%. People are no longer, wanting to actually watch the product or go to the games, or they're choosing to actually go over to the NFL. The NFL is kicking their ass and taking their lunch, and they're going to watch other games and other sports because it's always an alternative, and so they're going to have to get themselves together. I don't blame the Heat organization in this instance. I blame the players. Everything that I see happening with this league today, I am blaming the players because they are the ones that's putting out the product. And it's funny because they always wanted to blame the league about the money, but now that they got the money, you got to perform. You got to perform as a group. Nobody want to go to the All-Star game. Nobody want to watch the dunk contest. And we certainly don't want to see you pouting out on the floor. If you spending that amount of money going out there and looking at a product, we'll just tune you out. We'll just tune you out. Y'all let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Teach Henley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off of life. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you later. Peace.